I'm a mergers and acquisitions lawyer. I act for buyers and sellers in all aspects of M&A, whether it's a contested corporate transaction such as a hostile takeover bid or a friendly acquisition. And when I was in law school, I very much enjoyed the courses I took in securities law and business law. This is where I learned about takeover bids and change of control transactions and defensive tactics. So I knew that this was an area that I wanted to explore during my articling year. And so I was fortunate enough during my articling year to be staffed on a hostile takeover bid. And it was an incredible experience. I was really hooked after that. It had everything that I could ever want. It was a fast-paced deal. We had to respond very quickly to unanticipated circumstances. It had challenging legal issues. It was a high-profile deal. So there was a lot written about it in the press, and I enjoyed that as well. And so I remember at the time thinking, you know, if this is what it's like as an articling student, it's only going to get much better when I'm an associate and then eventually a partner leading the deals. And thankfully, that's been my experience. I think it's a very intellectually stimulating area of the law. There are always new legal developments and evolving market practices, so it keeps it fresh and interesting. It's also a great combination of business and law. And so the M&A lawyers working on these deals are providing not just legal advice, but business advice as well and strategic advice. And I think what I like the most about it is that it's an area of law that lends itself to a team approach. And so there are lawyers from different practice areas coming together. And I'm fortunate enough to work with a bunch of individuals that are excellent lawyers that are always trying to provide quality advice to the client. And we have a lot of fun doing it. And I think it's also an area of law where, even though I'm dealing with corporate transactions, there's a real human element to the deals. These are transformational transactions, and it's just exciting to be part of that. Well, I'm fortunate enough to be part of a firm that has a real culture of mentoring, of sharing experiences, and teaching each other and training young lawyers and helping them with their careers. And I was fortunate to have a variety of different mentors, and I think the best advice that I received was to have more than one mentor. That way you can observe the various practice styles and then select the one that works for you. I've had some mentors, particularly early on in my career, that were helpful with technical skills and substantive law, and then there were others who were very helpful with business development and softer skills. And I think by having a variety of mentors, you can, you know, select and combine the various approaches and find, you know, the path that suits you. It's very difficult to identify one event that I would characterize as the pinnacle of my career. Certainly, this recognition from Lexpert, I would say, is a major highlight. I know some of the past recipients; they're excellent lawyers, so it's an absolute honor to be part of this group. But I think, you know, my success is tied to the transactions that I've worked on. And so if I've worked on a deal that had difficult issues and I was able to come up with an innovative solution to create a new precedent in the marketplace to help the parties come together, I think that's how I would define success. I think as members of the legal profession, we have an obligation to contribute to the larger community. We're in a very fortunate position. As lawyers, we have valuable skills to offer, valuable perspectives, and there's lots of opportunities for us to get involved, whether it's contributing to various charitable organizations or offering up your time or skills on a pro bono basis. And I think it's just part of being a lawyer. It makes you a better lawyer, and it, quite frankly, makes you a better human being. For me, one area that's important to me is education. I think as lawyers, we have an obligation to train the next generation. And that extends beyond just the particular law firm that you're at. So we have a real role to play in law schools. And so I've taught at University of Toronto Law School, I've taught a course there, I've guest lectured there and elsewhere. And I think it's really valuable to the students to get that perspective from a practitioner. And I know when I was in law school, I very much appreciated when the practitioners would come in and teach us. And so when I had the opportunity to do so, I was very happy to do that.